So I'm still experimenting with this Lenzu Create app. For a long time I wanted to post tutorials on YouTube, but I had yet to find an interface that is effective. I liked the idea of an interface that doesn't have your hands or your head or really anything in the way, and I saw it from places like Khan Academy and Brian Douglas's channel, who teaches systems and controls. And now I have this nifty little app that allows me to do the same thing. So I'm going to change the background color, and I'm going to start with green, because green is clearly my favorite color. So to, figure out what I can do on this app and to get started with these tutorials, I'm going to teach you the concept of Pemdas, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. And to explore the concept of Pemdas, I'm going to solve the problem y equals 5 minus 3 over 2, parenthesis, 4 plus 1, parenthesis. Now, Pemdas, just to give you a bit of an introduction, Pemdas is the set of rules that's used to solve a math problem. Because if you didn't have a set of rules, then everybody would solve the problem a different way and get a different answer. So we're going to use these set of rules to solve for y. Equals 5 minus 3 over 2, 4 plus 1. So according to Pemdas, parentheses come first. P is for parentheses. So we're going to solve this part of the problem first. Now, what's located within the parentheses is 4 plus 1. So our first step is to add 4 and 1. So this equation becomes y equals 5 minus 3 over 2 times, or parenthesis, 4 plus 1, or 5. Now, as you can see, there's still a set of parentheses in this problem. So in order to get rid of those parentheses, we're going to multiply 3 over 2 times 5, because there's an implied multiplication symbol in between the 3 over 2 and the 5. In other words, y equals 5 minus 3 over 2 times parenthesis 5 parenthesis. So to multiply 3 over 2 times 5, you multiply the numerators and put them over 2. So 3 over 2 times 5 equals 3 over 2 times 5 over 1, which is equal to 5, equals 3 times 5 over 2 times 1. As you can see, all we did was we took the numerators and multiplied them together to get 3 times 5. And we took the denominators and multiplied them together to get 2 times 1. So 3 times 5 over 2 times 1 gives us 15 over 2. So y equals 5 minus 3 over 2 times 5 becomes y equals 5 minus 15 over 2. And all we did was we substituted, or we replaced this part of the problem with this fraction. So y equals 5 minus 15 over 2. Now, as a side note, you can leave the problem in this form because it's in a fairly simple form, but in order to more thoroughly explain PEMDAS, I'm going to get rid of this subtraction symbol by simplifying the problem even more. So in this problem, we have 15 divided by 2 and we have 5. In order to subtract 15 divided by 2 from 5, we have to turn 5 into a fraction form. And not only do we have to turn it into a fraction form, we have to give it a denominator of 2. We have to give it a denominator of 2 so that we can subtract 15 divided by 2 from 5. So, in order to give 5 a denominator of 2, I'm going to multiply it by a fraction. And to not change 5, I'm going to multiply it by a fraction of 1. So 5 times 1 equals 5, right? 1 equals 2 over 2. So I'm going to take 5 times 1, which equals 5, times 2 over 2, and I'm going to get 5 times 2 all over 2. Now 5 times 2 all over 2 equals 10 over 2, which is what we need. Now all I have to do is replace 5 in the problem with 10 over 2 in order to subtract these fractions. So our equation is 5 minus 15 over 2. I want to take 10 over 2 and put it in the equation in place of the 5. So now our equation becomes y equals 10 over 2 minus 15 over 2. Now both of these fractions have the same denominator of 2. So to subtract 15 over 2 from 10 over 2, we subtract the numerators. So this equation becomes y equals 10 minus 15 with the entire thing over 2. Now, 10 minus 15 is negative 5. So our equation becomes y equals negative 5 over 2, or negative 5 halves, which is our final answer. And the reason why it's our final answer is because if I was to take negative 5, if I was to take 5 and divide it by 2, I would get a decimal answer. So I'm going to keep it as 5 divided by 2 because that's keeping it in fraction form. So in summary, our answer is y equals negative 5 halves. And I used Pemdas to solve a problem that incorporates many different math operations, and incorporated multiplication, division, fractions, parentheses, and it was a very thorough but simple example of how you apply PEMDAS to solve a math problem. Now, I'm going to be doing many more of these videos. This is really just the alpha or experimental stage of my ultimate goal, which is just to create countless videos of textbook problems. I'm basically going to go through an entire textbook, section by section, chapter by chapter, and show you what my understanding of the chapter while I'm reading the textbook. So really, I'm going to be learning and relearning concepts while you're learning. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm also going to post a link to Wiseant in case you're interested in online, more one-on-one, personal, qualified tutoring, because I do that also. So I'm going to post a link to my page, and I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to start posting links and everything else and incorporate as many tools as I can to show how to solve not just math problems, but physics problems, engineering problems, and everything. So I'll see you guys later.